These are 3 super easy Christmas DIYs made from Dollar Tree materials. For the first DIY, I'm just taking black acrylic paint, and then I also have this little wooden canvas I got from the Dollar Tree a long time ago. I had painted it white a while back as well, not knowing what I'd do with it. So the first thing I did was just kind of take the black paint and brush it back and forth, but I went a little too heavy, so I did go back with the white chalk paint to smooth the black out. Now I printed off the number 25 backwards, and I'm taking flag red and then Tuscan red to mix them together, flip the paper over, and I'm going to paint on the back. I mixed the paints together. I didn't want it to be a flat color, so dabbing and stroking. Once that dried, I just cut out the numbers. And then with some Mod Podge, I am going to attach my 25 to my little canvas. I saw something like this at HomeGoods and I thought it was super cute, but I didn't want to pay $8 for it when I could make it for $1. And then I did seal the top again with more Mod Podge. Now where the numbers had lifted, I took sandpaper and sanded that down to make it look like rustic paint that was peeling or chippy. For the next DIY, I'm just taking the birch contact paper from Dollar Tree. I'm using 3 cans left over from paint, coffee, whatever, and I'm going to measure out how wide the can is and then cut off the contact paper there. Smooth it down, and I cut the top and folded it over. At the bottom of the can though, I found it was easier, instead of cutting the paper off, to just take sandpaper and scrape it against the ends, and it peeled right off. Next, I just took some white and black paint and kind of brushed it on there because these are my inspirations, and I didn't want this to look like paper. I wanted it to look like it was birch wood that was rustic and chippy. So then I took some Mod Podge and sealed that also because it was paper. For the taller can, I did the same thing, except I just glued 2 cans together. And I used these picks from Walmart. They're 97 cents each, and then this pick from Dollar Tree to fill the cans. Now the funny thing is, I actually like the taller can because it's wrinkled more. I kind of think it makes it look more realistic being wrinkled, because when I went to dry brush the brown and white paint, it looks more like wood than the smoother, smaller can. For the next DIY, I'm just taking these 2 signs from Dollar Tree and I'm going to put them together. They didn't fit together as well as other signs had, so I did use duct tape, and then I just hot glued popsicle sticks on the back to help it stay. Now, because there was kind of a big gap, I just took some caulk. You can use a smaller version, they sell it at Dollar Tree. Smooth that out and let that dry for a little bit. I came back with some chalk paint. It makes a really good base when painting these boards because acrylic paint doesn't stick to it so well. So I just went over it with 1 coat, not worrying really if I missed anything. And then I went back and traced the lines with a colored gray pencil, and I stroked back and forth to make this look like wood. Now I did end up having to go back and do that step again. So if you're gonna do this, I'd recommend doing that last. I just mix brown, white, and gray together, different consistencies, and painted the boards because I didn't want to do a pattern. I wanted this to look unintentional or just random boards put together. After I painted my boards, I went back and traced out where I wanted my letters to go and wrote out the word Noel, and kind of went back and did exactly how I wanted them to be before I go and lay the rope down from the Dollar Tree. Now I've done this before with my hello sign, and I know if you work in little pieces at a time, it pressed down really hard. That way the letters will come out a lot more straight. And then whenever you have to go over a letter, like how the O connects to the E, work in even smaller sections and press down really hard so it's more flat and not so lifted. I'm not sure if that makes sense, but maybe you can see what I'm talking about. When I was done, I just cut off the end, went back and erased my lines. And then to hang the board, I went ahead and just hot glued some rope to the back. I did do a layer of Mod Podge over the letters because it does give it a different look. To me, it looks more finished. I really like the way it turned out. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up.